Hi everyone, and welcome back to Tanta Passione. No, I'm not in Melbourne, if you're wondering, probably because I'm wearing, my sunglasses. I wish I was in Melbourne. I'm still in the UK. It was a sunny day earlier this morning, but now it got a little bit cloudy, like the situation around the Australian Open. Everything is still uncertain. Even if we are 3 weeks away from the starting date of this first Grand Slam of the 2021. But before moving forward, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Stealing one of my favorite lines in Jerry Maguire, like Tom Cruise used to say, help me, help this channel, help me, help Tanta Passione. I need more subscribers. It's very critical, it's very important, for the future of this channel. But now let's go back to the latest. The majority of players are all in Australia. Some of them, the most important, probably the highest one in the ranking, such as Rafa, Novak, Dominic Thiem, Serena Williams, are in Adelaide. They're going to be involved in a special tournament as a preparation for the Australian Open. Of course, Rafa is there with the majority of his clan. Carlos Moya couldn't join him because he said he didn't want to commit for more than a month to stay away from his wife and his children, in particular considering what is the situation of COVID right now in Spain. As well, Dominic Thiem arrived in Australia without his coach Massu, who was found positive to COVID, so he couldn't fly with him and he had to go only with his dad. Also, Andy Murray was found positive recently, a couple of days ago. So they were very clear with him. They said basically they're not going to let him fly to Australia unless his next test is negative. So considering that we are only 3 weeks away from the beginning of the tournament, even for Andy, the chances to be involved in this first Grand Slam of the year are very slim. And probably because they don't want to repeat what already happened with the American player, I think Sandgren, who flew over there even if his test was positive. And also, last but not least, I don't know if you heard about the news of 47 players who were on 2 flights going to Melbourne, and 3 out of these 47 people were found positive. So at the moment all of them are in a 2 weeks quarantine. They can't basically leave their rooms. They are locked in the hotel. And of course some players kind of started complaining about this situation, because they said, some of them, it takes me a couple of weeks just to get back to my 100%, to be able, to perform and to start the season. So if you can imagine, they are gonna be able just to do some stretching, some exercises in their rooms, and after they are going to have only 1 week to practice on court. As well, it was funny, I was watching from his Twitter account Daniil Medvedev, how he was practicing in his room, how each player asked for special equipment, and as well we all know that it's going to be a very particular Grand Slam. To be honest, for what I read, I think the Australian, the majority of them, even the country is divided. They didn't want basically this Grand Slam to go ahead. They are really worried about all the consequences that the fact of having players from around the world can bring back the COVID, the virus in their island. At the same time, I think Tennis Australia really wants to go ahead. It's vital for them to have this Grand Slam. From an economic point of view, it's going to be a disaster. but at the same time, looking at the statistics and the numbers, so far they were entitled to sell only 25% of tickets, where initially they were planning to sell at least 50-75%. But if we look at the numbers of the previous years, in 2018, for example, 48% of the spectators were all coming from abroad. So I don't know what's going to happen. As well, just to remind you, basically the players were not allowed to stay in a particular hotel or area that it was decided initially for them. There was kind of a little bit of a revolution from some people who own that place. It's going to be very curious to see what is going to happen. For sure, as a fan and as a person who loves this sport and loves tennis, I really keep my fingers crossed. I really hope that the players are going to be able to perform. Of course, it's not going to be easy. At the same time, for example, Rod Laver confirmed that he's not going to be in Melbourne. It's going to be the first time after so many years that he will not be able to witness and to watch, you know, these matches live. As well, we all know that Roger Federer is not going to make it. Probably, like they say in English, behind a great man there is always a great woman. So we know, Roger, that Mirka decides that is in charge at home. But just joking apart, I understand that he wouldn't be an easy decision for Roger to either go there to Australia without his family, or having, you know, 4 kids and the wife and all of them basically locked for 2 weeks in a room, in a hotel or whatever. I'm very curious. Of course, it's going to be very important to see the table of where if Dominic Thiem is going to be on Djokovic or Rafa's side. Also, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen to Daniil Medvedev. I hope he's not superstitious, because looking at the past, whoever won the ATP finals before in 2018 Alexander Zverev, or in 2019 Stefano Tsitsipas, after he had a really challenging and difficult season the following year. So let's see if Daniil Medvedev is going to confirm his great end of season 2020. As well, Dominic Thiem was very confident, and he said that the fact that basically he reached the final last year and he lost in 5 sets against Novak Djokovic gave him a lot of confidence. He said, these weather conditions for sure suit my game. And I believe that after his first Grand Slam won at the US Open, Dominic has changed in terms of approach to these games. He's less probably emotional. He can control better all the pressure during these big matches. So leave your comments. I'm very interested in what are your predictions. If you think that at the end the tournament is going to happen, at the same time there is a very high risk that this Grand Slam can be basically cancelled in Melbourne in case basically they don't go ahead. Let's consider that out of the 4 Grand Slam, the Australian Open has always been considered the less important in terms as well of appealing. I think it would be a shame, because I went there. I understand why they call this Grand Slam the Happy Slam. The atmosphere, the people, the organization, they're really incredible, and they really love this sport. And I think it's very magic. Probably if you've never been there, in the future, when we're going to be able again to fly around the world, is going to be a good opportunity. I would definitely recommend each one of you to go there. So leave your comments. Don't forget, again, subscribe to this channel. If you're already subscribed, introduce this channel to new friends, whoever is in love with sport, or even people that not necessarily have to watch my videos all the time. At the moment, I need, you know, to reach more points to enter, you know, the professional ATP of YouTubers. So that's all for today. I'll let you enjoy the rest of this sunny / cloudy day in the UK. Wherever you are, remember, stay tuned, because Ho Tanta Passione will keep producing more videos as soon as we get closer to the tournament. And also I can't wait, you know, for the tennis to the proper one to start. That's all for today.